Boy, he caught that. Passetti caught that and just flat out took off. Block right here on Lee. Shaddai is chasing from behind. James gets off his block a little bit too late. Kyle Bell comes up and makes a stop a couple yards short.
So 3rd down and 2 for Romeo. Trips to the right, trips to the left, twins to the right. Empty backfield for the Bulldogs.
Romeo 50% on 3rd down tonight.
Dragons need a stop here. Hurley, back to throw.
Williams.
Got Williams for the 1st down.
Oh, you can see that develop from up here. Just again, he's just finding that seam right in the middle of the field. You've got 99 down here, Blake Williams, and all he's doing is curling up in that opening, that void right there. Hurley throws a nice ball down low for no one else but Williams to catch for a 1st down.
1st down for Romeo. 2 minutes left in the game. Romeo comes out, trips left, twins right. Empty backfield. No mystery, they're gonna throw, as I say, and Hurley runs, he's up the middle, and he's down to the Dragon 25-yard line. That's the last call I try to make tonight.
Yeah, they fake this swing this screen up front, and Hurley just sees a big void. Simple quarterback draw all the way. And Bell comes up from his spot, safety spot along with Slayton and Lee on the stop.
1st and 10 from the 25, trips right. Hurley throws, end zone, Chris Lee. Feet got tangled up with Williams.
Brandon Gashi put some big time pressure on Hurley to force that throw high. Here's Gashi up from the top of your screen, putting some good pressure on Hurley. And you're right, that's a situation where they try to get to Passetti. Lee's covering him in his back pocket.
Uncatchable ball. So now it's 2nd and 10 from the 25, 1:30 left. Trips to the right, twins to the left. Hurley got pressure, throws, complete to Williams. No safety back for the Dragons.
Boy,
Kyle
yeah.
Bell had to hustle back to save a touchdown.
Here's Brandon Gashi again coming and untouched, and at the last second, Hurley heaves it up to Williams again in that middle. Kyle Bell makes a nice touchdown saving tackle about the 6.
1st and goal from the 6. Romeo not only looking at doing their usual play call from the sidelines, they're eating clock. Hurley into Williams for the touchdown. 59.7 seconds left. Wow.
We talked earlier about Lake Orion, going back to what they've done well. Guess what Romeo does? They return the favor and going back to what they've done well. They've gone Passetti, and they go to Williams coming across the middle. There's Williams at the top of your screen, number 99. All he's going to do.
Spot is down, kick is up. And the kick is good by Bering. 59.7 seconds left. Romeo 24, Lake Orion 21.
You see Williams at the top of your screen. All he does is just a little crossing route right over the middle, inside Kyle Bell, inside the end zone for the Romeo. So, again, Williams having a big second half for the Bulldogs. Hurley having a big second half for the Bulldogs. 24-21. Hurley, 25 of 41 for 287, 3 touchdowns and 2 interceptions.
What a second half of football this has been.
And Blake Williams, who caught that touchdown, 6 receptions for 76 yards.
Bering will kick off. if things hold true to form, it's going to be a pooch kick. If Schenzer up,
yeah, that's that situation.
Josh Bays is up.
Yes, you've done that to this point in time, but field position-wise, do you want to give them a fairly short field? You know, I don't know. Do you want to give them the ball at the 30, 35-yard line?
And you're right. Kickoff deep. Kyle Bell took it right around the goal line. You know, in a case like that, let it go into the end zone. He didn't make it out to the 20. They're going to mark him at the 16-yard line where the Dragons take over 1st and 10.
Connor Grant, 4 of 9 tonight with 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 56 yards. Lake Orion, again, has primarily done their offense on the ground, but 2 timeouts left, plenty of time.
And I say that in that situation, let it go in the end zone. When you're back there and you're the last guy and they kick it, you're thinking, oh my goodness, it's my ball to get.
Make a play.
Yeah, make a play. So Dragons take over 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line. Trips to the right. Connor back to throw. Throws the screen. Ball's in the air. And they're saying Romeo has it.
Are they going to say that was a completed ball?
I didn't think it was completed. I didn't think there was possession. And they're calling Romeo football.
Wow.
Wow.
If that holds true,
let's
which it will.
Let's see if we can see this again.
That will be Lake Orion's 6th turnover on the night.
Here we go.
They run a little screen pass to Giovinazzo. Boy, oh boy, I'd like to, boy, oh boy.
He sure didn't have it for long.
He didn't even make a football move. He just turned around. That ball was never in his hands.
And Nick Sally tried to pick it up. And
he's the one that's down on the ground.
Yeah, he's down coming off. He's coming off under his own power.
Wow.
But boy, it sure didn't look like he had it long, like Dom had it long enough to make, as you said, a football move on it.
No, because by the time he turned around, he was already being hit, and the ball wasn't in his possession as of yet. Unfortunately, in high school, you can't go to the hood. You can't throw the red challenge flag.
So here's our situation. 47.5 seconds left. Romeo's up 24-21, and they have the football on the Lake Orion 18. Romeo goes to more of a bunch formation with 1 wide out, who now comes in over the other side. They have a single, and Hess is the quarterback. He runs it down to about the 15. And Lake Orion's going to take their 2nd time out.
Well, it's a situation where clock's certainly not in your favor. You only have 1 timeout left. Something happened last week in downtown Detroit where the offense, in this case, had a penalty on them, which stopped the clock. Stranger things have happened, but bottom line, Lake Orion's got to get a stop here, use their timeout, and then hope something happens on 3rd down. And the way the game's gone tonight, with all these turnovers, fumbles, interceptions, you name it, you don't know.
And speaking of last week, I think everyone around Lake Orion that watched that Lake Orion or the Detroit Lions Dallas Cowboys game felt a little surge of pride about the way Jeff Heath played in his first NFL start. Jeff played an excellent football game.
Yeah, he had 9 tackles, 1 forced fumble, almost had an interception on a 4th down play. He caught Calvin Johnson at the 4-yard line on Calvin's 87-yard touchdown run, not touchdown run, but 87-yard completion.
That's pretty hard to do.
Yes, it is.
So we have 2nd down and 8 from the 16. 41.7 seconds left. Hess is the quarterback. Offensive coach is yelling instructions out. They want him in the gun, not under center. And he's just going to take a knee. They're going to make, is Lake Orion? Yeah, Lake Orion's taking their last time out. I think. Coach Bell's out at midfield, or out. He's having a rather, Coach Tooley's having a rather animated discussion with the referee.
It's interesting.
Well, the referees just kind of told Coach Tooley, okay, I get your point.
Oh, but why did he wait for so long to signal? He was all the way.
I don't know.
And why is he letting them be there on the middle of the field? I don't get that either.
Well, during a timeout, he can come out.
That far?
But he can't. Oh yeah, they can come out into the defensive huddle, but they hadn't called timeout yet. Be careful, Coach Tooley. They get your point. So 38.7 seconds left. It's 3rd down and 8. I'm sorry, third down and 12.
You got to hope.
And the Dragons can't stop the clock.
You got to hope for a botched snap, a fumble, a penalty, you name it.
And
a low snap, almost there.
Yeah. Now, here's your situation. It's 4th down.
Depends on when they put the ball in. They haven't blown the ball in. The game's over.
They're going to have to run.
Game's over.
Yeah. Yep, they did. They waited.
They blew it in at 20.8 seconds.
They did. So the final 15 seconds run off the clock. And the final score for the pre-district game will be the Romeo Bulldogs 24, the Lake Orion Dragons 21. You're watching exclusive coverage of Lake Orion Dragon football here on Orion Neighborhood Television. We'll be right back. Down on the field after I guess you'd call it a stunning 24-21 loss by the Dragons to the Romeo Bulldogs. And Chris, some of the things we talked about in pregame, you had to play solid defense. But the thing I think that surprised us more than anything were the turnovers tonight.
The turnovers, and as we're talking on our way down, and we're talking throughout the night, you can't win football games with a -3 turnover margin. Lake Orion had 6 turnovers tonight, 5 lost fumbles and an interception, and you just, I don't know of many teams, I don't care how good you are, that can overcome those types of things when they're turning the ball over yourselves. And so when you beat yourselves, don't get me wrong, Romeo's a good football team. They played hard, their quarterback and their receivers are good, and they did the things right. They did a nice job defensively stripping balls, but bottom line, you just can't turn the ball over that many times and expect to win, and as a result, you see the results.
And that's one of the things, as we talked about in pregame, we talked with Coach Tooley, and he said that there were a lot of things defensively that they thought they had tightened up. The things that, from what we saw earlier in the year, where they did have to struggle to keep teams from scoring. They were giving up a lot of points, and he says, we think we got those corrected. Well, there were some things tonight that just showed that there was still a lot of room for improvement.
There is a lot of room for improvement. I think that's exciting for the future. However, just think about it. If you give your opponent the ball 6 more times than you're supposed to have given them, I don't think the defense played all that bad. You look at the stats, and you know what, maybe a lot of yards were given up, but again, you've given the ball back to that opposition 6 more times than you really should have, and as a result, you know, a lot of times Romeo had short fields with which to work with. And so that makes it difficult for a defense. I thought, for the most part, I thought the defense played pretty solid.
I'm just keeping an eye out for Coach Bell. I don't know if we will see him or not tonight, but and that was another thing, is now looking forward to the future, because Monday's going to be probably the worst day in a football player's life. It's turn-in day of the equipment, but looking forward to next year. We saw a lot of flashes. We saw Matt Krause, what he can do. We saw young Mr. Fisher, the excitement that he's going to be able to provide. And so you can see a lot of good things. Coach Tully was really excited about what he's going to have to work with next year. So, yeah, there's going to be a lot of good things can happen with this team in 2014.
Well, I think that's program-wide. I mean, every single year, Lake Orion builds a program. We always talk about it, it seems. I mean, we get to have the numbers you have at the freshman level, to have two freshman football teams, to have a solid JV team, to have 90-plus kids here out tonight. I mean, that's the depth that Lake Orion can provide, and that's why Lake Orion, as you said from the outset, 15 out of 16 years that Coach Bell's been here, they've been to the playoffs, and that's a tribute to what they do as a staff and the belief and the philosophy that they add to the program from bottom all the way to top.
For us, it's been another wonderful year to cover the Dragons, and none of this would have been possible without our great Orion Neighborhood Television crew, our producer directors, Ian Locke, Joe Velez earlier in the year, the cooperation of the entire Lake Orion Athletic Department, Athletic Director Bill Reese, Coach Chris Bell. We can't say enough about him and his accessibility and the cooperation we've gotten from him. And of course, none of it would be possible without your viewership. Thank you for watching us. For my broadcast partner, Chris Frisching, I'm Doug Corliss. Again, our final score is Romeo 24, Lake Orion 21. We'll see you in 2014. Good night, everyone.